So what I'm sensing or what I'm kind of hearing, right, is a shift in the power dynamic.
Yeah.
Right. Primarily as it relates to resources. Right. So, but for a man who thinks traditionally, if he's not the primary breadwinner, meaning that if he's not the one who makes the majority of the money, does he see himself in a diminished role or have a diminished value of himself in a relationship with a woman who may be, earning 2-3 times more than he does?
So here's where, and I love what you're asking me. Here's where I feel that men need to take more accountability in regards to brotherhood, right?
Okay.
It is not difficult to see that without a woman even being any kind of way, men themselves get in relationships and they feel some type of way about not being able to earn what they want. And I'm going to elaborate before anybody, kind of go left with it.
Right.
There are a lot of guys that, they are in their career. Whether it's a skilled worker, I don't care if you work in, infrastructure or, whatever industry, right? A male-dominated industry where you are a working man and you are earning, I'm not going to say your highest potential, but you're earning what you feel is decent for yourself.
Okay.
When you run across or connect or, get you one of these modern women, if it's a situation like what you described where she is out earning you, as a brotherhood, I feel like men need to have more conversations where, you talk to one another about handling your ego, processing your feelings as a man that come along with coming home to a woman that is out earning you.
Okay.
And this is before we even get into how this woman may or may not act.
Okay.
Men just need to be more honest with themselves, not in the presence of us as women, but you guys, and you can tell me if you disagree, but you guys as men, as bros, as homeboys, like just talking about these type of things. Like, bro, you got a bad one now. She got businesses and shit going on and, certain things like you got to make sure you still are aware of your value as a man, even though she may be bringing home more dollars than you. You still got to be able to put your foot down, bro, in your household. You still have to step up and check your area or your level of self-esteem without this woman even speaking on it. Make sure you feel good about yourself enough to be able to, live in this type of environment.
Right.
Because a lot of men are in these situations, and without the woman being any sort of way, there is a space of low self-esteem, or most females usually call it jealousy, but I know it's a man just feeling a way about himself. Right. It's really not a man jealous of a woman. Right. It's these type of things that men need to talk about more, especially with the younger brothers, so that as they come up and they are interacting and dating these type of women, they can check themselves at the door so a woman does not have to.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Power dynamics. I'm going to start with you first, Conrad. What are your thoughts about that? Man? You agree? You're on mute, just so you know we can't hear you.
I don't know. Sorry about that. I don't know who that lady is, but I have to disagree with her. I haven't seen a time and point and place in society where women who are making more than their men respect that man and have him in a place where he's still respected. I don't know personally. What I'm saying is I don't know personally. I don't know you as Marcus, but okay, that might be your situation, but I haven't seen that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say by my own anecdotal experience that that's even smart for a brother to run into. Now, if y'all been together since high school days and that's just what it is, then y'all go figure that out. But for the general man, I don't think that's a wise decision for him to be in that type of dynamic, because disrespect is going to come. Those are just the way the track rolls, as according to I've seen it. So I don't think it's a matter of the man can't handle it. I think I think Marcus even said it about weighing. I don't know how, I can't remember how he phrased it, but weighing the pros and the cons. I'm not trying to fight with you just because you feel that you make more money. If something needs to be done and I feel that it needs to be done, or I see that it needs to be done, and I need you to do a certain task or fulfill a certain role to help me accomplish this or to get this task done, I should be able to be able to say that to you without you feeling like just because you're the breadwinner that you can dumb down what I'm saying. I just haven't seen that play out too well in general society. So I can't say that is it's a matter of us checking us at the door and checking our emotions and insecurities and all that.
All right, go ahead, Marcus. I seen you. You was pointing to yourself. Was that in response to what Conrad
Yeah,
was?
no, I was telling him. Remember, I said on the podcast before that Nani, she made more than me. I think like when I first start being like staying home or whatever. So that changed absolutely none of the dynamic within the house. In fact, and she actually went harder in the opposite direction, if that makes sense. Because we like when we start to connect a little differently, we start to have more conversations and about just different things because I wasn't as concerned about one aspect, so my brain was free to connect on another aspect. And I don't know.
But Marcus, that's you though. For that general average guy, can we say that this is something that is plausible?
So
it may be possible, but
Uh-huh.
probable and plausible, that's not a smart decision, in my opinion. I can't tell other brothers to follow you because I would believe that y'all have a foundation that supersedes who makes what type of money. That's a nuance that I can't count on and other brothers can't count on, respectfully speaking.
No, Conrad, I know exactly where you're coming from, and I agree with you. But I also agree with the statement that the lady was making about a lot of the issue isn't necessarily her feeling away. The way our egos are, sometimes you can feel away, and then I used this example when I was talking about the way people handle internal conflict, right? So when you're hungry, you respond to a situation differently than when you're fed. It's because you're struggling with something inside. How you respond to the external stimuli changes. So I think the point she was getting at was if you're in a position where where a lot of men tie their masculinity directly to earning potential, like when the truth is in this day and age, it's not really correlational. It's not where you got to be physically stronger to make more money. It's not where you have to do things that would typically be regulated to pure masculinity to make more money. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. A lot of the things now are like the highest paying jobs are usually office jobs. They're not jobs where you're outside doing construction and building and doing the things that men typically hang their hat on. So with the rise of e-shops and all these ways where women can take something on Etsy and turn it into $1 million business, it's a possibility that we still will have women that are feminine moving forward. And if you find yourself in that situation, it's ideal to understand that your masculinity is so much vaster than just your money. As it stands right now, I think men tie every aspect of their masculinity into providing and maybe a little bit in protection. And some men believe they could provide enough to not have to even protect. So we have to reach, like with the changing world, we gotta take another reframe and look at how all our roles play out. And do we just put all our eggs in one basket, or do we become more well-rounded men?
If a man is intimidated by how much a woman makes, then I think that's something that man needs to check in himself. There's no reason why a woman making whatever more than you make would make you feel intimidated by them, aside from that just being outside of your reach. Now, of course, we can all agree that every type of man isn't going to get the higher quality of woman. You know what I'm saying? That just won't happen. If you don't got it in you, you ain't got it in you. You know, so I think that's a conversation that's only had by men that aren't confident in themselves. You know, it shouldn't matter.
I don't know about that one, Viz.
I don't know about that.
Listen,
Hey,
we competitive by nature, right? That's what a lot of that stuff is rooted. I got a neighbor. I'm in a new neighborhood, right? I'm looking at all these niggas around me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm measuring myself up to where I stand with them. We do that subliminally, or we do it, we do it out loud, or we do it internally. We keep it to ourselves or whatever. I'm just being transparent here for the sake of the conversation. The man that's with a woman and that's his woman and she's making more money than him long term, if he's being competitive in what he do and he's confident in what he's doing, then yeah, I could see that point. But I do think at some point that's gonna kind of eat away at him. I heard a sister say on another panel today.
You saying to compete with that woman?
No. I'm saying within himself. Like, so I think Marcus just said something to the effect of a lot of men, we tie our ability to produce and gather resources to our masculinity. That is true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the truth. We shouldn't shy away from that. That conversation that Dorsey loved, and I didn't mean to cut you off, Viz. If you're not finished, I'll pipe down.
No, you're good.
Okay, my bad.
I'm just going along with what you're saying. So even if that is the case, as men, do we stop challenging ourselves once we achieve a certain level? You know what I'm saying? So if that's not the case, then again, it shouldn't eat at you. And if it eat at you as a man, you check it, figure out what tweaks you got to make, and you keep going about your business.
Okay, that's a little bit more clear. Okay, I see what you're saying a little bit more now. Yeah. It's a little bit more clear. Go ahead, kid.
The dynamic that a woman would give you peace as a regular standard if she made more than you. You could be the confident man. You can make 70,000. She makes 100,000. What's the percentages that she'll remind you that she makes 100,000 and you make 70,000? Exactly.
So
it's not a man not being confident.
So I'm personally in a relationship for 6 years, 5-6 years now. My old lady makes more than me. I make good money, and she makes good money as well. The whole conversation of her making more than me has never came up. You know, that's never been an issue for us. So I mean, I get it that may be the situation for some people, but as for me and from what Marcus was saying, that hasn't been, an experience for me.
Okay, here's the thing.
But Viz, yours is not the norm, right? My bad, KP. Just really quick. Yours, I'm talking about even the way you earn your bread. You're a creative, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You're like, I brought it up with Marcus and Clout when they said they got certain provisions from the women. I said, line up 9 other men. Would that be the norm? It wouldn't be the norm. You're the exception to the norm. Hats off to you that you have a stable relationship that dynamic works, but that's not the norm.
Right, but it can be the norm if that man has that.
Where?
What you mean where?
Where can it be the norm if there is statistical proof that women don't want to date down?
Okay.
And I had the stat. I just can't find it quick enough.
That's
can be the norm. That means you're speaking aspirational. That's the poet in you. But what's happening? That's not the case.
I mean, so if we continue to tell people that they can't achieve it, then what's going to happen?
I didn't say they can't. You didn't hear that come out of my mouth. You didn't hear that come out of my mouth. But that's not the norm. You're speaking aspirationally. In no way I said that can never happen.
So
that's not the norm.
So my bad. Go ahead, fellas.
No, I was just gonna say, well, if anything, I'm saying that it's possible. If it's not the norm, if it can't be the norm, whatever the case may be, what I'm saying is that it is possible if the stars are aligned in that person.
But
so
it may be possible, but
wait,
that don't make sense.
Wait,
the probability.
wait, guys.
The probability of that happening.
Drizzle.
It's not good for a man to sit down and wait for that possibility. My grandfather, as he raised me, even down to when he was dying, told me that his last words were, "You've got to try. And everything you do as a man, you have to try. You got to get up every day and try. If you're going to cry, but try. Right. Get to the next level, whatever that is, right? So my grandfather let me know, just like you said, it is possible. But he said, son, you can't rest in what's possible. life will pass you by waiting for what's possible. So I can't turn around and encourage other young guys to wait for what's possible and wait for the stars align. Like, we don't got 100 years for another, or 80 years for another comet to come block out the sun and wait for everything to hit right.
So I think maybe Viz, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but
I'm gonna check Sweeney out. Let's get Sweeney now. I know you've been trying to speak. Go ahead, Sweeney.
So I think we're talking about a specific type of situation, right? The reality is, well, here's the reality. In every single tax bracket, men outnumber women in that tax bracket, besides outside of underneath 30-some thousand. 30-some thousand and below, women outnumber men. Anything above that, men outnumber women in every single tax bracket, no matter how high you go. But let's say, for the sake of argument, I have never ran into a man ever that said that he would feel some type of way being out-earned by his woman. Never. In fact, the only thing I've ever heard men say is, if she does out-earn me, I'm just going to get off my ass and go make more money, or, and it don't bother me at all. More money in the household. I'm not tripping. But if we're talking about to see the type of men that Dorsey was talking about, those men don't tend to just be intimidated out of nowhere. I mean, feel some type of way out of nowhere. It normally comes with something, which was, to Kenny's point, a woman that belittles him because she out-earns him. Men don't just feel some type of way about being out-earned in the household unless there's some type of contention there. Then he has a problem. And then he's labeled insecure or yada, yada, yada. But most men don't give a shit how much his woman earns as long as he's doing what he needs to do, especially if he's confident in his job. Most of the time, he gets up, go to work, pay the bills, do what he got to do. What she does is just either extra money or motivation for them to do better in life. But I've asked this question to hundreds of men, and every last one of them said either they're just going to make more money or go out there and try to make more money, or they don't care, it's just extra money in the house. But the type of men, but what happens is, when women have this conversation about men, you have to ask them, who told you that? Has that ever happened to you? So you got with a man and you out-earned him, and he said, I was intimidated by your income. And most of them say no. It didn't happen to them. They just think it, or they feel it, or, oh, it's giving that vibe because I felt some type of way. Did you say anything to him? Well, we was arguing that one day, and he told me that he didn't want me to buy this car. And I told him, well, it's my money. I can do what I want with it. Oh, so you basically tried to son him, and then he felt some type of way about it. You don't think that may have played a factor in him having a problem with you out-earning him if you're going to son him every time and remind him every time that you out-earn him? But outside of that, it's a thing. But most of the time, I don't run into men that feel some type of way about their women out-earning them.
See, it all depends. It all depends, Sweeney, because we can't ignore the fact that there's a lot of women who lead with their wallet, who lead with their career, who will say with your broke ass in an argument, right? And you have to understand what type of a man you are in the first place. If you are not a man who's trying to put in the work and improving yourself in every aspect, right? Like we all tell men to do. If you're not trying to put in the work, if you're not trying to work out, if you're not trying to better yourself, if you're not trying to be more competent, if you're not trying to just better yourself as a human, and you not really with all that, and you just comfortable, complacent, you don't need to get with a woman who's making more than you, who's more ambitious than you, because she's going to absolutely throw it in your damn face every second she get. So you just have to understand the matchup. It's all about matchups. So if you were a type of dude that's not really trying to get out there and get it, then no, you definitely do not need to be with a woman who's getting it more than you are, because she's going to mistreat you. Most likely.
Here's a tripped out part, though. Here's a tripped out part about it, Trev. Like, we know dudes that they women, like, he's the bum on the couch and all he got is dick to offer. And that nigga is happier than the goddamn punk in prison. He don't give a shit how much money she earns. She try to call him broke ass and all of that. And he still look at her like she crazy. Like, I don't give a fuck. Shit.
No, yeah, and I understand that part too. But just as a man, you just want to make sure that it's not just the money, right? Money isn't going to get you but so far, because she's going to cheat on you with somebody she really likes. That's the problem you'll have. So again, as a man, you have to improve yourself in every aspect. Would I be personally worried about if a woman made more than me or if my wife made more than me? No, because I make sure that I have so much more to offer than that. We're supposed to be problem solvers as men. That's the main thing. You need to be a problem solver. You need to make it so her life is easier. And there's so many other ways than money to make her life better, have an impact on her life, offer enrichment, and make it easier on her. So the more things that you offer as a man, the less likely that you would have to deal with that type of behavior. But of course, you're still going to have to worry about what type of woman you select, because unfortunately, there are far too many women who lead with their career and will really throw that in your face. You have to learn to avoid those women, because they're out here. There's very good women who don't care nothing about that, who just want a man to love and respect, and the money won't make a difference. But the more you improve yourself, the more odds are you are able to get with one of those women who are like that.
So I don't understand if just with you saying that, and that's basically repeating what it was that I was saying. I don't understand why we can't tell men to take care of business and not be afraid and intimidated by what a woman makes. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, that and as we stated, every man is not going to be on the same level, but that to me that shows a level of weakness. You know what I'm saying? If I see a woman in the club that I'm attracted to, I've never been one of those type of where I'm gonna just sit back and not go talk to her. I'm gonna go talk to her. You know what I'm saying? If I miss, then I miss, but I took the shot. And if I hit, then we own. You know what I'm saying? So I've never been one to be intimidated by stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Once just with my aura and my presence, if she feeling me, she gonna feel me. And then if she shows that she's the type of woman that would throw something like that in my face, I'm not even gonna waste my time with her, because she's gonna show it within the first 30 days of us talking. You know what I'm saying? The first time that there's a conflict, I'm gonna see, okay, this is how she resolves in conflict.
Yeah, but you realize that women reject about 80% of men, right? So you saying you could go ahead and get most of but you realize that's not most men's reality, right? That's the problem. So we got to separate that sometimes. That's not most reality. They're going to get rejected. Most men are rejected more times than that's how it is. Maybe not you, maybe not me, and I did. Go ahead.
So now let's address why they're getting rejected. In most cases, they're not confident in themselves. They're already walking up to the woman, you know what I'm saying, with no confidence, or the way that they're presenting themselves, or the way that they, you know what I'm saying, they break the ice. The icebreaker is everything. I know a lot of ugly niggas that's funny as hell, and they bad bitches. Because they know how to break.
No, we don't doubt that at all. We don't doubt that at all. But a lot of this, it's not like a natural ability. It's a skill. It's something you have to develop. And not everybody is at the same skill set. And even if we were, then it would be some people that are better. And those would be the guys who get it. So there's always going to be a curve. And there's always going to be most men being rejected no matter what, right? So even if you're good, and then we get everybody to our level, right? Now there's those people at the tippy top are still going to be the ones to get it. Women are more selective than us. They're not going to take everything, right? They have so many opportunities because we the ones pressing out here that they are going to be selective, and they usually are. So they're usually going to pick the higher percent. So if we could all get to the same skill level, then they're going to start looking at people who might smell better. They're going to start looking at people who might look better, groom better, have more charisma. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how it is, it's always going to be a curve, and there's always going to be most men getting rejected.
All right, let's go to get Hank in now.
Well, it depends on the woman's attitude. It's not even about the money. It's about the attitude that's going to come with that money that she's making. That's what's going to be shitty. So look, I don't get into that bullshit because I'm all about one pot. So it doesn't matter how much money she make. We're going to come together on this. And we're going to pour it all into one and do what we got to do on this situation. So that really doesn't matter. But you just got to pray and hope that she doesn't have a certain attitude that's going to come with her making a nice amount of money. Look here, in 2024, these heifers very well going to be making more than us. I know what the statistics saying right now, but these heifers are making money. And some of the money's supplemented by doing other things. They doing extra shit. So I'm sure they're not calculating that when they doing OnlyFans and they showing their goddamn feet. Some of you motherfucker got them fetishes. Sweeney, you look like one of them dudes. I'm just saying.
Really bad, a foot fetish.
I'll just bullshit. But no,
broke, bro.
When you deal with them type of dynamics, man, you just got to handle that, and you got to have the conversations from the giddy up. Say how is this going to work? When y'all come and have a conversation, y'all get together. Look, by the third date, I'm gonna know her credit score, but that's also what I'm gonna know is how much she earns and where she works at. So I'm gonna have an idea about how much money she makes, just like she gonna have an idea about how much money I make. So now it's about, okay, when we get there, is my ego gonna be able to handle it? Or am I gonna, feel some type of way? Am I gonna go turtle up because shit, she make more money than me? What am I gonna do? Now I'm gonna start doing another 10 or 12 hours of overtime just to try to one up her ass? No, I'm not gonna kill myself over that bullshit. It's not worth it.
Hey, I think that this where like Tabitha Brown and Ebony K. Williams come into play, because it's different type of women. You just got to vet for the, like, I think Tabitha could be making whatever and she's still gonna hold her man down the same way, and she him as a man. And Ebony K. Williams is looking for somebody that's above or equal and looks down on men like they just don't exist. I think you just avoid those women, honestly. No matter if you're in a better position than her or not, I just think you should avoid those women. Things happen in life. You can get hurt. Like I got a car accident. Anything that could put you in a position where she now makes more than you. Does the relationship dynamics shift at that point? She never respected you as a man if that's the case. It's a bigger issue there. So
I mean, let's be real here. It is not hard to find a woman that you out earn. That's not hard to find. Well, no matter the tax bracket. It's not hard to find a woman. No, for real, think about it. That's the data literally says it shouldn't be hard to find a woman that you out earn. If that, and Hank, I'm talking about the guys. If the guy feels some type of way about his woman out earning him, these are the type of people I'm talking to. It's not that fucking hard to find.
Yeah, but if you just base it on what you earning,
any warm body that's a female, but is that who you want? Just any warm body? No, that's not what I want in my camp. That's not the type of woman I'm gonna bless with my goddamn last name. Not just anybody. Oh, I'm gonna take her. She's an asshole. She's an ignorant motherfucker. She's not agreeable, but I make more money than her. Bullshit. I'd rather her make more money, but she's willing to compromise. She's willing to get on the team.
But I think I think he's saying that's the argument that would make sense to people, to men that only want to date women that's under their what they make.
It's not hard to find, no matter the tax bracket.
But I think there's a bigger issue. Now that's the part of it. If that's what you was getting at about the confidence piece for men, then that's the bigger issue, right? Because if you're just looking for somebody that you out earn, then there's a bigger problem there than just what resources you producing. So for me, I've said it multiple times. Like when me and my little boo thing got together, she out earned me, but there was also me transitioning from Detroit to here, getting stuff back in order and getting things lined up, so on and so forth, right? And then for the job, the title that I have now, I'll pay sub, but I'm also very confident who I am, and I'm also, very much so fulfilled when I began with this company. So regardless of what she was earning, I was cool with our situation and where I was and who I am. But the dude that's just harping on or having an issue with the fact that, he's not making as much as his woman or something like that. The problem ain't that you need to find somebody that you can out earn. The problem is it sounds like you still got some work to do in
Oh
terms
yeah,
of
that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? If
Mhm.
with me making that statement, I'm talking from us being kings. If this is kings talk, then we supposed to be uplifting, you know what I'm saying, our other brothers much rather than telling them, oh no, if you find any chick that make more than you, she gonna talk shit about you. And you know what I'm saying? It's like you already setting them up for failure, you know. So
Why are you
but
using all in infinites rather than taking it at face value? Because nobody on here said all are infinite. You will never find, it will never be.
well,
So
Conrad said that
I
he
take
wouldn't tell.
umbrance with you like pushing that narrative. We
Well,
are on King Talk, but we're parsing it out
well,
with
I
with
was
the
responding to
available
what
facts.
Conrad said.
You're an
Conrad said,
anomaly. Marcus is an anomaly.
I
Most
said it's not
females,
plausible.
most females that we meet and we hear about that make more than the men, the ones that represent them, that compact few are the Ebony K. Williams, the Kendra G's, and those people. And you see those ones in your group that lead, like they said, with the degrees, with how much money they make, their position and title, and they said you have to match that. And this is, I'm not saying for all. There's a subgroup that this narrative is pushed. Like when I said it's aspirational, the way you speak, I'm with it. But that's not the case. That's not the norm. And it's like you go back to saying all and every, like it's all or nothing.